Have you ever wondered if there's something beyond the physical world we experience? Something deeper, more profound, that transcends everything we think we know about reality? Well, there is. It's called non-duality, and it's the ultimate truth of spirituality. In a world where duality seems to be the norm, where we are taught to see life in terms of opposites, like good and bad, light and dark, us and them, non-duality shows us something radically different. It invites us to look beyond these distinctions and see the unity that underlies everything. In this video, we're going to dive deep into what non-duality really means and why it's considered the ultimate truth of spirituality. We'll explore how it's not just a philosophical concept, but a transformative realization that can change the way you see yourself and the world around you. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss out on more profound insights that can help you on your spiritual journey. What is non-duality? At its core, non-duality is the understanding that there is no separation between self and other, between you and the world, or between consciousness and the universe. It teaches that all of existence is a single, unified reality. This may sound abstract or even contradictory to what we experience daily. After all, we live in a world filled with distinctions: people, objects, time, space, good, bad, right, wrong. We naturally perceive the world as a collection of separate things, each with its own identity and boundary. But non-duality challenges this perspective by suggesting that these distinctions are ultimately illusory. In other words, while we may experience duality in our day-to-day lives, non-duality points to a deeper truth. Everything is interconnected, and at the fundamental level, there is no separation between us and the world. To truly understand non-duality, we must first recognize that our perception of duality is shaped by the mind. The mind tends to categorize and label things, creating boundaries where none actually exist. The wisdom of non-duality, however, invites us to see through this illusion and embrace the oneness of all, the illusion of separation. The idea of separation is deeply ingrained in the way we perceive the world. We are taught to see ourselves as separate from others, from nature, and even from the divine. This sense of separation creates division, conflict, and suffering. One of the primary causes of human suffering is the belief in a separate self. We identify ourselves with our bodies, our thoughts, and our emotions, thinking that this limited sense of self is who we really are. This creates an ego-based identity, which leads to the constant desire for validation, possessions, power, and control. We become attached to this sense of individuality, which in turn creates fear, anxiety, and ultimately dissatisfaction. Non-duality, however, reveals that this sense of separation is a mere illusion. The truth is, there is no other. There is only one reality, and we are all part of it. This realization is not just intellectual knowledge, but a deep transformative experience that can free us from the suffering caused by the illusion of separateness. In spiritual traditions like Advaita Vedanta, Zen Buddhism, and Taoism, non-duality is a central theme. These teachings point to the fact that at the core of existence, all distinctions dissolve. There is no me and you, no subject and object, no inside and outside. All is one. The role of the mind in duality. To grasp the essence of non-duality, we must examine the role of the mind. The mind is the tool through which we interpret the world. It is through the mind that we create thoughts, judgments, and distinctions. The mind is constantly analyzing, categorizing, and labeling, which reinforces the perception of duality. When we encounter something, the mind immediately divides it into categories: good or bad, right or wrong, pleasant or unpleasant. This constant labeling creates a sense of separation. We see ourselves as distinct from others and from the world around us. We forget that these labels are merely mental constructs and not the ultimate reality. Non-duality encourages us to go beyond the mind's limiting framework and directly experience reality as it is, without labels, judgments, or distinctions. This experience of pure awareness is the essence of spiritual awakening, the spiritual awakening through non-duality. When you begin to understand non-duality, something profound begins to shift within you. You start to realize that your true nature is not bound by the mind, body, or ego. You are not limited by your thoughts or emotions. You are the awareness that witnesses them. This awareness is infinite and boundless, The moment you stop identifying with the mind and ego, you begin to experience the unity that has always existed. You see that you are not separate from the world, you are the world. There is no you and me, there is only one consciousness expressing itself through different forms. This realization is liberating. It dissolves the fears and insecurities that arise from a false sense of self. It frees you from the constant need to control, to possess, or to seek validation. You begin to live in harmony with the world, seeing the interconnectedness of all things. Non-duality is not just a theoretical concept. It is a direct experience. It is a shift in consciousness that leads to a deep sense of peace, love, and fulfillment. When you realize that there is no separation between you and the universe, you feel a profound connection to all of existence. You no longer feel isolated or disconnected. You are at one with the flow of life. Non-duality and the mystical experience. Many mystical traditions point to non-duality as the ultimate experience of spiritual enlightenment. Mystics from various religious backgrounds have described a state of consciousness where they experience the unity of all things. This state is often referred to as union with God, self-realization, or nirvana. In the Christian mystical tradition, for example, saints like Teresa of Avila and John of the Cross spoke of experiencing the divine presence in a way that transcended duality. They described a state of union with God where the distinction between self and the divine vanished. Similarly, in Hinduism, the concept of Brahman, the ultimate reality, is considered non-dual. In the Upanishads, sages speak of realizing the oneness of Atman, the individual soul, and Brahman, the universal soul, leading to liberation from the cycle of birth and death. In Zen Buddhism, the experience of non-duality is known as satori, a sudden, direct realization of the oneness of all things. It is a mystical experience that transcends the dualistic mind and leads to a state of pure presence. Across all these traditions, the mystical experience of non-duality is described as a profound realization that everything is interconnected and that the separation we experience in our minds is an illusion. This experience brings an end to suffering, as the individual no longer sees themselves as separate from the world. How to experience non-duality? While the concept of non-duality can seem abstract or elusive, it is not something that can only be grasped by scholars or intellectuals. It is a direct experience that anyone can have. Here are some practices that can help you experience non-duality. 1. Meditation. Meditation is one of the most effective ways to quiet the mind and experience the present moment. By focusing your attention on the breath and letting go of mental distractions, you can begin to experience the space of pure awareness where dualistic distinctions dissolve. 2. Self-inquiry. The practice of self-inquiry, particularly as taught by the sage Ramana Maharshi, involves asking the question, "Who am I?" This question directs your attention inward, helping you detach from the ego and discover your true nature as pure consciousness. 3. Mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness involves being fully present in the moment, without judgment or attachment to thoughts. By observing your thoughts and emotions without identifying with them, you can begin to experience the oneness that underlies all phenomena. 4. Contemplation of oneness. Reflect on the interconnectedness of all things. Recognize that everything in the universe is made of the same fundamental essence. When you contemplate the unity of life, the boundaries between self and other begin to dissolve. 5. Spiritual reading and teachings. Studying the teachings of non-dual masters such as Adi Shankaracharya, Nisargadatta Maharaj, or Eckhart Tolle can deepen your understanding of non-duality. Their insights will guide you in recognizing the truth of oneness in your own experience. Living in non-duality. Once you begin to grasp the truth of non-duality, your life will change in profound ways. You will begin to live from a place of inner peace, free from the conflicts and struggles that arise from dualistic thinking. You will start to see the world through the lens of interconnectedness. You will no longer see people as separate from yourself, but as expressions of the same universal consciousness. This shift in perception will lead to greater compassion, love, and understanding. Living in non-duality also means embracing the present moment. Instead of getting caught up in past regrets or future worries, you will learn to live fully in the here and now. This presence will bring a sense of joy and contentment that is not dependent on external circumstances. Finally, Living in non-duality means embracing the mystery of life. You will no longer feel the need to control everything, because you will trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You will surrender to the flow of life, knowing that you are an inseparable part of the whole. Non-duality is the ultimate truth of spirituality. It invites us to see beyond the illusion of separation and recognize the oneness that underlies all of existence. By embracing non-duality, we can experience profound spiritual awakening, leading to a life of peace, love, and fulfillment. As you begin your journey into non-duality, remember that it is not just a concept to be understood intellectually, but an experience to be lived. Keep practicing meditation, mindfulness, and self-inquiry, and you will begin to see the world through the eyes of oneness. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share it with others. May the truth of non-duality guide you toward greater spiritual realization and inner peace.